How you guys doing? This is Andrew at FloryPB. I'm in the middle of putting together those three Angels, the A4, the 05 Speed, and the G7 Fly. And I just put the battery together for the G7 Fly, my new battery that I made, versus the old one here. Much bigger, more better, I guess. 1600 milliamp hours or 650, so they get a lot more out of their charge with the new one. And I just, I was in the middle of making it, I realized I should be recording this as well. So I whipped something together real quick with my camera. It's not perfect. I'm definitely missing some steps because I've already done them. But let's just go with it real quick. I'll do a quick rundown of how the batteries get made. These are the cells that I use. These cells come out of this box here. They're Tenergy cells. Let me bring that up close to you, see if you can see it. They're 1600 milliamp hours. Made by Tenergy. And these are basically the same cell. They're exactly the same cells. I just stripped the casing off of them gently just to get rid of it. Basically, these cells are slightly bigger than the old cells. That's why they're 1600 milliamp hours instead of the old 1000 milliamp hours that came in the original Angels, like the blue batteries, which I have one kicking around. I don't know where it is. But they're slightly bigger in diameter, so you got to take the casing off of them and you got to do them decently, or else it's going to be way too big to fit in. So here's all my pieces that I have put together. Here's my 3 cells, here's my 4th cell. Now the difference between a 6 volt and a 4.8 volt battery is there's just one more cell. These are called 2/3 A cells. And an A cell is obviously a battery you can't get like a AA or a AAA, but it is a battery that is pretty common in industrial use. And what each one of these cells is they're 1.2 volts a piece. So when you stack them in series like this, you get 1.2 plus 1.2, so 2.4 plus 1.2, 3.6. Put one more in, it's 4.8, which is what the 04 Speed and onwards used to the A1. And the older Angels, the IR3s, LCDs, LEDs, had a 5th battery on the front, which would have put 4.8 up to 6 volts for the older Angels. So I switched over to the 4.8 volt setup. It allowed them to put the LPR in the battery tube. And without further ado, I just want to get moving on this. So here's my little rig. You gotta first get your batteries on. We're going to use the spot welder. It's got a little foot control down here. Give at least 2 hits. Holds it on there pretty well. We're going to do 3 of the cells like this, and the 4th cell gets a smaller nub on it. This is just my attempt to keep them straight. I'm assuming a lot of those low-end battery factories don't actually have anything much more sophisticated than this. I could be wrong. The idea is just get enough in it to melt the metal together without overdoing it. So I'm holding the negative side here. Get the positive lead. The positive's up top, the negative's this whole bottom section. So I have the batteries together now. Now I have this little jig that I made. Real sophisticated stuff here, I know. Which allows you to line them up and get them in a line. And this is not going to be easy. Work though. You don't really need to line them up. It just, I think, looks nicer. I'll try to get that lined up too. A little easier to do the top side. Now you don't want to ever go too close to the edge, you're just going to burn right through this. So it's a little bit of a game. And be careful, this is a little dangerous. Wear your glasses, know where to put your fingers. It's not super dangerous, but it can hurt. Alright guys, sorry my camera cut out on me right there. After you get all these spot welded together, they are pretty strong. So next I'm going to take my tape. I like to use Super 88 vinyl electrical tape from 3M. It's just extra thick actually, and I just like it. It's pretty strong tape. All we're going to do is stretch it over. It's going to want to curl up on the one side. Let it curl up. Flip it over the other way. And you give it two like that. Gives your weld some protection and makes everything straight again. Cut off the finish, or the excess rather. It's not going to be needed. Bend that tab up. I like to leave it a little long up here on the side that my negative is going to go over. Just so it gets on top of the actual cushion right there. Gotta put my negative on now. So this one we actually pull it off the desk because it's just a little too high. So sorry, you're not going to see it. But I'm going to take this. I want to come down this side, so I'm going to put it right there, tack it a couple times. Bring it around and bring it down. I'm going to cut the length actually off. Be a little wasteful. That one didn't look like a good heat in it, so let me do one more. Alright. So the spot welder is done. Gonna leave that a little long for the time being. Put the soldering iron back on. Get the foot pedal out of here. Let that warm up. We'll snip this. That's a little too long. Bring that down to there. Don't let these two touch, you're gonna arc. And now, let's solder on. The two pads. Let's make sure you can see it. Good amount of solder on that. All right. There they are. So let's make sure we put all our stuff on first. So this is just a hole punch section of cardboard. Same way that WDP did it. I might have made that solder too big. Perfect. And you just toss it on. Like that. Let's take our shrink tube. Align this once. All right. Make sure you're nice and lined up. Make sure it looks nice. Turn the soldering iron off. Sorry about that, guys. My camera keeps cutting out. I keep switching between crappy battery and crappy battery. So I think we got it where you see me put the shrink tube on top. We have the top platen on, the bottom platen is going down here. And when I say this is just hole punched, literally, I got stock of nice card paper. The thick stuff that people use. and a little hole punch, and you just pop them out. There's a better way to do that, but it gets the product correct. Use our hot glue gun. Put our bottom on. I'm using blue paper, or blue shrink wrap rather, because it's the A4. This is what they came with stock, so we're going to keep the stock look to it. The batteries are an upgrade, but the look's going to be the same. You want to slip it in. It's okay to have a little extra. We're going to cut it off at the end. Might be a little too much extra though. Trim it down. Just measure it up. I like to shrink it in the tube like this. Wrong thing. Let that thing shut up. Jesus. Alright, so the bottom's exactly how I want it. Looks great. The top, we're going to glue these down. Just give them a little extra support right down here. So if you ever tug on the wires, it gives it a little stress relief. And it helps seal out condensation and anything else like that. Alright. I need to work on a better way to show this bench right here. Obviously this is my standard work area, and I apologize for that. Alright, so let me grab the body real quick, make sure it fits in, plug it into the board, let's see what the board's doing. This is the body it goes in. Perfect fit. Nice and snug. The way it's supposed to be. It's not going to rattle around. And it's the 10 energy batteries, so they're just slightly bigger than the old stock batteries. So that's why you're getting a little snugger of a fit. But it works in this case. You just got to keep it right. You got to keep your tape right. You can't throw too much shit in there, or else it's just not going to fit in the tube. Let's plug it into the board. I don't know if this board works, but we'll find out. It doesn't work perfect, but LPV2. That's a start. Alright guys, that's how you make a battery for an Angel. Anything from the LED on up to the G7 Fly. It should all be the same, minus the amount of cells in them. And yeah, these are 2 Angel batteries. Alright guys, once again, Andrew from FloryPB. I tried to do a quick one here. Sorry about the camera and the angle. It's not what it normally is. We'll be back to finish up the 3 markers that we're working on. That's why we made these batteries in the first place. And yeah, you'll see that video as well as this one. See you guys.